whatever it is that you're going through, you don't have to tell me. Just know, I'm here for you.
I will be here for you. Scenes and Steins. Episode, what's day 4? 4. Episode 4. Cheers. You didn't cheers.
Cheers. Alright, welcome back.
This is Sergio.
And this is Manny.
Doing something a little different today. I roped him into watching the last episode of the Digital Circus. I'm a little bit obsessed with it. Him not so much, so I thought this would be kind of an interesting little tidbit. Side quest. Someone who's not too into it, as invested, and someone who's very interested. I had Pomni's avatar at the bar for my profile pic for the longest time. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we're doing today. We're doing Guava Pointception.
Point Conception IPA from Figueroa Mountain.
Yeah.
Is a California brewery from Billtown, California, up by Santa Barbara.
But anyways, yeah, that's the intro. But yeah, the last episode of the Digital Circus. Remember, we're gonna go right into spoilers because there's not if you avoided the leaks, you saw them. I actually saw this movie in theaters. This is my third time watching it because I watched it a couple of days ago when the YouTube video dropped, and then again right now. I almost started tearing up because I'm heavily invested in these characters again today. I know you haven't kept up so much. You were like, oh, did we even watch the other episode? No, dude, it's only 8 episodes before this. Not that much. What did you think off the bat? At least the voice acting.
I thought it was good. I remember the characters a little bit. Like you mentioned, I was very intoxicated when we watched all the other episodes, so I don't really remember much of them. I remember Jax and Pomni because they seem to be very central to the whole story. Coming into this movie, the reason why Jax was the way he was definitely resonated with me. Constant rejection, constant fear of looking weak was something that I struggled with when I was younger. Something that I worked very hard with my therapist because it wasn't the macho side of me. It was always people depend on me sort of thing. So I can't show weakness, always have to be the strong one, which I noticed Jax was in the same vein.
That's actually kind of interesting because, sorry, I'm checking if this is on. It's interesting because you say that he was, referring to him like a kind of support, he's everyone's support.
I'm not saying he's everyone's support. I'm saying he didn't want to look lesser than anybody else. He had this sort of I guess a god complex where he thought he was better than everybody
I could
else.
definitely see that, yeah.
Because he didn't have any weaknesses, or at least he didn't want to show he had weaknesses. There was a scene in the movie, a very short movie by the way. I was surprised it was less than an hour long.
Well, in the theaters it was they played episode 8 and then it went into this one. Yeah.
Okay. So Jax having a sort of a god complex, not wanting to show weakness, wanting to seem better than everybody else. It really showed where that was coming from in this final episode when he actually showed a moment of weakness with
Ribbit,
which is
the green frog.
Which is a new character for...
It's an old character, but they were in the series before the start of the show. You hear them referenced here and there.
Okay.
But never by name. You just get little clues here and there about this character, and they never dive into it. He never wants to talk about it. Because he's very much avoiding talking about his trauma throughout the whole show. He always makes a joke of it, which I do too. The whole humor as a deflection
coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm. But the interesting thing about the animation about this is something a lot of the fans already know, is that his eyes always go pinpoint when he's in the moment, but then they always dilate when he's disassociating. That part was it was so good because it's I remember moments, especially when I was younger, when I would disassociate. It's an interesting character study because I know when you look at his character, the god complex and everything, he's an asshole. 100%. And you can see where it stems from, and it doesn't excuse it.
No,
but
absolutely not.
Like, you kind of still feel for him because it's like you feel like Pomni almost got through to him in that one like central scene in the movie, in the show episode, where she goes into his abstraction, connects with him, learns all his history, learns all his backstory. You kind of wonder like what would have happened if he didn't step on that flashbang, because these characters. Because Kinger's like this, like the one with the bucket on his head. Like if he's in the darkness, he feels more sane, and it's the same with a lot of these abstracted characters. Like when they're in the darkness, they don't revert back to who they were before, but they seem more conscious of the moment, and it makes you wonder like, what would have happened if he didn't step on that flashbang. But that's getting way ahead of it. I do love how much of a character study is on mental health in that aspect.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not jumping ahead, but in the scene where he opened up to Ribbit, you definitely felt for him. He definitely felt more human and less godlike, as he liked to portray himself to be. And like you said, it looked like he was going to have a breakthrough prior to this, when Pomni was learning everything about him. Could have been.
We have a lot of those moments in our lives, and I keep dropping popcorn. As a casual viewer, though, like how did this one resonate for you? Like, because I actually have a lot of questions for that.
As a casual viewer, not remembering what happened in the previous episodes, it makes me want to go back and rewatch the whole thing, and then watch the last episode again, because there's definitely going to be a lot of things I missed, especially when it comes to character work and just diving into each character's motivations. So I'll definitely be doing that and watching this last episode again, and try to pick up things I missed, because I definitely missed a lot of things. Like you said, I was highly inebriated, probably not paying attention.
So you were probably just saying, "Oh, this is good. Put on the next one. I don't fucking care. Just give me another booze."
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. You know, you have those days where you're just like putting on whatever in the background on YouTube and just like scrolling through your phone.
Sorry, but Dad can still remember her smile.
What?
Yeah, it's a meme. Yeah. Dad, sorry, liver, but Daddy can still remember her smile. Cracks open a beer, and then you start playing Black by Pearl Jam. As Jax did in this one, because he kept remembering Ribbit. So that was his person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, yeah.
The animation itself was pretty gorgeous. I'm so used to like hand-drawn 2D animation, but I know you noticed at least from the first episode to now, the jump in animation quality just like skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, there were still some issues, because it still bugs me. I don't know if they're going back onto the YouTube video and editing it post, but I did notice Kinger only had one eye in a lot of those bucket scenes.
I noticed that too, and I was wondering, like, wait, he had two eyes before, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he lose one? And I don't remember, because they weren't like exactly posted on him. It was like a little hanging off to the side.
Yeah, there was like a bit of like darkened wood in the spot where like his second eye was. And
right.
It would be clearly, because it starts off jumping from the episode 8 into this one, and you learn pretty early within the first 5 minutes, hey, we're all just brain scans. We're not actually real people.
Right.
We're like, our counterparts are still out there living their lives. We're just copies of them in that moment. And that's actually one thing I want to touch on, because like it is June, it is like Mental Health Awareness Month kind of thing. I haven't seen the discussion anywhere online, because you know, us living these moments in real life in the 3D world, we have experiences outside of ourselves that help us mature, and then we incorporate into our personality and help us either move on or get worse. They don't have that, because they're just screenshots of that moment in time that they are. So they're just like stuck in whatever age that they had their little brain scans taken.
Right.
So whatever experience they had prior to that is all they have. Is all they have. And anything they gain in the 2D world, which is just like, that's just amongst them. And they weren't taking it seriously up until this episode, because this was I realized, like, okay, shit, we can't leave. This is us. part of this, whatever this world is, the digital circus.
Right, so in a sense, what you're saying is, once they have that brain scan, it kind of splits into two. The digital world, where up until that point, all the experiences before shaped them, and then they had different experiences in the digital world that shaped that digital character, and then the real world character, where they had probably took different routes, different experiences, which shaped them.
Yeah, because I remember when I started watching this show last year, I related a lot to Jax. I'm like, dude, I was a fucking asshole like that in high school. He knows. He was there for me for the asshole experience. But, like, that's, like, I know, like, a lot of people got really upset with the fact that he abstracted in this episode, because they're like, oh, dude, he should have had a redemption arc. And it's like, I remember who I was in high school, and I do not, like, blame anyone for treating me how they treated me back then, because I was a fucking dick. And I deserved it. Same thing with, like, Jax here. Like, he deserved a lot of what happened to them. It's, like, one of those things where it's, like, you have to work on yourself, and if you have a lot of love and support, which it seems like this character really did, Jax's character, he had Kaufmo, he had Ribbit, Pomni, and he still hated being vulnerable, and it seemed like it was like a real trauma thing for him to open up and just be vulnerable. It was like a very like toxic masculinity thing that he didn't want to separate himself from him. So that might have been something that his digital self stuck with, but his in real life version grew past, because he's like, you know, he starts off, you find out he's like, yeah, he's been homeless for months, and at some point he got past that and ended up getting a job.
Yeah, when he got scanned, he was homeless. And like I was saying, different experiences from the digital self to the real self. Because the digital self stuck with the experiences that he had prior, and he went such dark route, I would say. Whereas the real life person decided to take his struggles, decided to better himself, had a good job, or ended up getting a good job, ended up not being homeless anymore, getting his own apartment, living the life he wanted to live. Where
I wouldn't go that far, but he's stepped above, because it's like homelessness, it fucking sucks.
Well, they mentioned it. They mentioned he got his own apartment.
But I mean, like, the life he wants. Kind of. I don't think he wants to be doing that, but he's still a step above from where he was.
Yeah.
It's not. There's not a lot of like ambiguity in the show. Like the episode, I know a lot of fans are really upset because there's still more answers and questions, and we never really learned what abstraction really is. It's hinted at as a kind of suicide.
Like just like deletion of your digital self.
Yeah, like they just get so depressed, so like introverted that they just like mentally break down, and the scan gets corrupted, kind of thing.
Oh shit, that's what happened to Ribbit.
Yeah,
which makes sense
because it has to do a lot with mental health, because you see her spiral. Once she's getting pushed away, because it's like you share this moment of vulnerability. I kind of wonder what would have happened if Kaufmo didn't like knock at that moment, if it would have cemented, because he was like probably feeling very like vulnerable in that moment, and just someone else happened to just like, yeah. So I'm curious to know how that would have turned out if that didn't happen. But at the same time, I don't know if you remember this scene, but there was like a scene in it wasn't the last episode, but it was like the episode prior, I think, when they had this other character named Abel that was like, hey, I can get us out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like we just have to do this and that. And it 100% was showing that Jax was about to abstract. Like, you see those colored in his eyes. And what stops him from doing that is someone interrupted him, which was Pomni. Pomni interrupted him from abstracting because she just wanted to check in on him. And that's something he didn't do to Ribbit. He had 2 opportunities before she like actually confirmed abstracted.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Because it shows them... And
check on your friends.
Yeah. That's a huge mental health thing. Because... And that's another thing, like, I'll get into it actually, because this was like, for me, what really like tugged at me for this one is like, there's like 2 separate scenes I didn't expect in this show that really resonated with me from a friend that I had that passed away. And first one was like the We All Get Guns episode, which is him just straight up telling Pomni like, yo, I'm not going to give a fuck if you die, basically. I'm just going to move on. Which is essentially what I told someone else. And that messed with me after they actually passed away. Yeah. Yeah.
You alright?
No. So that was one episode. But it shows like Pomni was trying to check in on him and be open with him, and she introduces the idea like, this is why people abstract. Because we're not checking in on each other and you're pushing people away. And back then he gives this whole speech about how you don't even know how people are like before they abstract. Like they're really, like he gives this impression that they're assholes and they're not fun to be around. But then you actually see what happens to Koffel and Ribbit before they abstract. And it's 100% him just isolating him. Like, I don't know if you caught it, but there's hints to him, like, getting Kaufmo to turn against Ribbit. I don't know if you caught that, right?
I caught that, yeah.
Yeah, like as soon as, like
if she tells you anything, it's not true.
Yeah, and before that, he's looking the other way when they're all sitting around the couch, and they're, like, Ribbit's trying to talk about something, and he's just, like, looking the other way, whereas, like, previous scenes, they were all just, like, joking and bantering.
Together.
Yeah, and it's just, like, 100% he's poisoning the well against Ribbit, and he's isolating her, which sucks. And then as soon as she's gone, he does that to Kaufmo too. It's just like anyone who knows anything personal about him, he sees as an enemy because he doesn't like being vulnerable. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a heavy episode. Not only episode of Digital Circus, but heavy episode for our channel. I didn't think we'd hit something this heavy so soon.
You thought it was going to be the Sitting Elephant episode?
Oh yeah, I did.
We're still going to do that one. You know, watch it again.
Elephant Sitting Still. Mm-hmm. Great movie. Takes all day, so make sure you have time to watch it. We'll cover that one at a later time. Back to Digital Circus. Very heavy on mental health. It, like you said, being Mental Health Awareness Month. Actually, by the time this releases, it'll be...
No, we'll still have it out. We'll still have it out.
Okay.
I'll do it.
He covered a lot about...
yes.
I guess it was losing friends.
Well, it's loosely based on suicide, the abstraction thing.
Yeah, suicide, losing friends. Definitely want to take a pause here on the reviews and say that seeking help is not weakness. And always checking on your friends. We don't know what they're going through. We don't have to know what they're going through. Just letting them know, like, hey,
where's the popcorn?
Whatever it is, it's in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen.
Whatever it is that you're going through, you don't have to tell me. Just know, I'm here for you.
I will be here for you. No, but seriously, don't be performative. Like, what was it, 2019, where all the celebrities were dying? And they were like, oh, you never know what anyone's going through. Please check on your friends. But it was all performative. And, yeah, it's like, yeah, just make a social media post. Don't actually check in on your people.
Right.
But, yeah, go ahead.
Just definitely use it for clout. Definitely. Checking on your friends. Make sure that...
As you was mentioning, we both did therapy. We're working on ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's perfect. And we don't know. We don't have all the answers all the time. So, having someone to talk to, having other perspectives, having someone elucidate other paths that we might have overlooked or not noticed or just ignored is always good to have. There's always professionals there. Find someone. There's always going to be somebody there to listen and to help you in any way that you need. Help.
As long as the copay pays out.
Say something in the comments. You want to reach out to us, you want to talk to us, we'll talk to you.
Oh yeah, we're stable.
I'm not saying we're stable, but we'll definitely listen. We'll give you perspective. We can talk things through.
He's more of the. How would you describe your like approach to mental health?
A little backstory about myself. I'm a registered nurse, and I worked psych. So I've seen a lot, and I experienced a lot with a lot of my patients. So my approach to mental health is more clinical. Like I was mentioning, there's professionals there to help you out. We don't always. I mean, even though I work mental health, work psych. I don't always have the answers to what's going on in my life. I'm going through a hard time, or was going through a hard time. Not that didn't have the answers, but helped me find the answers.
So an impartial party.
An impartial party.
Someone that didn't know him.
Yeah, that was my therapist. Yeah. Definitely helped me a lot. Guided me through things, made me see things in a different perspective. Like no matter how dark the world seems, it's not the end of the world sort of thing.
Unless you actually listen to politics.
That's a whole different beast for a whole different type of channel. Because the end of the world is coming, and we're just trying to enjoy our lives a little bit.
Yeah.
With movies and entertainment and beer. But I feel like this episode kind of went off the rails.
Mental health was a big thing on this episode.
Right.
I mean, it's a subtext behind it. Because the episode is titled Remember, which, if you don't know, like, Pomni's name in Russian means remember.
I did not know that.
Yeah, well, now you do.
Now I do.
Yeah. But it's something to keep in mind because I feel like Jax disassociating and putting off his trauma in this whole episode, in the whole show actually, did him no service. Because eventually that shit's gonna catch up to you. I mean, it has that episode where like Pomni's in his abstraction going back through his memories. It gets to a point where even Jax says, well, you know everything about me now, kind of thing. It's all just moments from earlier in the show where he's stopping himself from breaking down. And I think for me, like kind of back to the what I said earlier about the two paths they take once they get the brain scan. It's like the digital self and the real life self. Jax's in real life version got to do a lot of shadow work, which is something you should look into if you don't know. It's painful stuff, but it's by Carl Jung. And I think just the fact that he was so isolated, not around people, he didn't have the opportunity to really bounce off other personalities and distract himself, that he really kind of like dug deep into himself, being homeless, having all that time to himself. That's where a lot of like the actual inner work happens. And I don't think his digital counterpart got that part. So he never really got the chance to really reflect on those moments, and he saw those moments of vulnerability, like when he shared with Ribbit, as something not masculine to do, kind of thing.
Right.
Which, to some degree, I kind of understand because it's not outright said, but I mean, we both, like, if we're gonna get personal on this, because like, this is like the mental health thing. There is a lot of issues where you do open up to people because you're trusting them, and they immediately like shut down. Just like Jax did. And they kind of say like that's emotional labor, that's trauma dumping. So I understand that. I understand that's kind of how his like upbringing was, because he talks about how he opened up to his mom, shared something very personal. It's very strongly hinted that he's actually like a trans character, because his whole room is actually like female coded.
I didn't notice that.
Alright, so shut off. I was getting into something very deep, so start tearing up a little bit right now.
I didn't think this episode was going to be this long.
This episode? This review?
This review, yeah.
Oh, I have a lot to say about it.
There's just a lot, yeah.
It's very for me. It's very personal. I don't know where this video cut off. Apologies, but I was just getting into how like there was a lot of parallels between like my personal life and Jax and Pomni's relationship. Because first and foremost, I don't know if you remember this, but like in the bar scene, they were talking about how Pomni would do some light breaking and entering into abandoned properties and just like.
Oh yeah.
That's what me and Cynthia used to do a lot of. We would. That's like most of our videos is just us going to these abandoned buildings and taking photos. And we didn't. We posted them on YouTube and we like, you know, we just did them just for fun.
Right.
Like it wasn't anything like we thought it was gonna get big. It's just something we did to like make us live past the 9 to 5. Live past the accounting life. And that's actually, Gooseworks talked a lot about how from the very beginning. This show was trying to convey a message of trying to find meaning in the mundane, and meaning in the 9 to 5. And I mean, how much more mundane can you get than being an accountant?
Right.
Which is Pomni's job, as she talks about. And you know, it sucks. I know a lot of fans were really upset that they didn't escape the circus, or there wasn't more of a finale conclusion. But that was the premise. It's just like, you know, we're all cogs in a machine. Most of us are struggling to survive. You have to basically have like 2 incomes at this point with gas prices the way they are.
I drive electric.
Shut up.
Not Tesla.
And for me, it was like it was just very like touching to see Pomni still try to connect with Jax.
Yeah. Now, Pomni definitely did show a more human side. Or more humane side, I should say, because Jax was also human, even after, after he was brain scanned, because we can't discount his experiences too. Like you were mentioning, and you made me realize, maybe he did come out to his mom, and his mom made fun of him, or her, or whichever way they want to identify, because they did mention like, their mom made jokes after they told the mom a deep dark secret, and they joked to the point where Jax shoved the mom, and then the mom fell to the ground, and then Jax's in real life character ran away, became homeless, and that's when they got brain scanned. So that's as far as Jax's experiences went. From the moment that they ran away from home, after they shoved their mom, after they came out to their mom with something so deep and dark. So Jax doesn't know life is different outside the digital circus. And sometimes I feel like when we struggle with our own mental health issues, we don't see life outside our struggle. We think that our struggle is going to be our struggle forever. And sometimes that stops us from seeking help. Sometimes that leads us to, what's that term they use to like erase themselves?
Abstraction?
Abstracting. In real life.
Suicide.
If you saw past the pretty colors, you see a lot of this deep things. Like I said, even after not watching or understanding or remembering any episode before, like this last episode of this movie, it really hit me. It really showed me a lot. It was really deep.
Are you just saying that for the review?
No.
No.
I mean, we're talking about the things I caught too.
Go on.
In the end, it did resonate with me. The whole, ending life, your own life.
Did you catch those references to Get Out and Doctor Who, by the way?
I've never seen Doctor Who.
The I Don't Want to Go is definitely a Doctor Who reference to David Tennant leaving the series. Spoilers for a fucking 10-year-old show. And then Get Out.
Doctor Who's like a 50-year-old show.
No, but like the 10-year-old part is like the episode where he leaves. David Tennant leaves the series. There's a scene where he says, "I don't want to go," and he regenerates into the next Doctor, Matt Smith.
I know the premise. Genius premise, by the way. Like, it's such a genius premise.
To replace actors?
Yeah. It can keep going forever.
Yeah. But they just have to fucking do the writing right, which I feel like they didn't after fucking Russell T Davies. Shout out.
I know who that
Fuck
is.
you, BBC. Fuck you. Oh. Anyways. But yeah, that and Get Out. But you saw the Get Out into the... You definitely saw the reference.
I did see that one.
And you did catch the Streetlight Manifesto reference too. Because he was standing by a streetlight.
Streetlight Manifesto's playing next month at the House of Blues in Anaheim.
I need to get tickets.
We will be there. Come hang out.
Maybe. If you care.
If you're in the area.
Anyways. Yeah. The last episode 8, was a lot of action. I know this was probably like very like weird in terms of like the last episode was action packed. You'd expect to have more interactions. Like I was surprised there wasn't any interaction between Kane, who got deleted by Kinger. I know that was a sticking point for some of the fandom. On that note, there's a lot of parallels between Jax and Kane, because even though Jax is an AI and he did do a little bit of a oopsie daisy, literally putting the characters through hell, because he has access to their mind files, he has access to all their past traumas, and he was able to.
Did you see Jax?
I meant Kane.
Okay.
Kane had access to all their files, all their everything, all the past traumas, all the stuff they wouldn't share with the other characters. So he was able to perfectly create their worst nightmare scenario based off all their insecurities, all their trauma in the past. And he definitely delivered it on the last episode. And in this one, he kind of has a redemption arc, which kind of seems like it comes out of nowhere because it's kind of like ham-fisted in the last 30 minutes. But
yeah,
you
I didn't
realize,
understand why.
I kind of get it because he had a little Hitler moment. If I want to be honest, he had a Hitler moment.
Or he linguinied himself?
He linguinied him? No, he got deleted because of Kinger.
Okay.
Kinger was like working on the computer, and then Kane was trying to get in and mess with it, and he ended up deleting himself. On that note, I can kind of understand it because getting a little techie here. When you delete something on a computer, it's not actually deleted. It's
right.
It basically just tells the computer, hey, you can overwrite this space.
Right.
That this data isn't important anymore. Like it tells the system, you can overwrite this. So eventually you get to a point where you take photos, upload a document, something. It'll eventually overwrite that part.
Right.
And I think that's what the void is in this digital circus, is all that unused space in the memory of the computer that they're on. So I think when Kane got deleted, he got moved to the trash can, and he's just in the subsector of the memory that's just like
ready to be filled
kind of thing. Yeah. So I think all he did was just kind of like move himself back to the actual like living space. But the weird part was we don't actually get any answers on Bubble. I don't know if you remember Bubble. Bubble was actually a pretty fun character, which was voiced by Gooseworks. It's the one, the Bubble character that would just kind of flutter like alongside him and always just kind of be his critic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You didn't show that one.
They showed an orb of it, but it wasn't talking anymore.
Right.
And I don't know if it's hinted at, but I think. Sorry, Mike. I think it's hinted at that the orb. Actually, I thought this was a dumb theory, but I guess it ended up being true. Was that the blue AI And the last episode was kind of like Bubble.
The one he took out of himself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, Bubble wasn't talking anymore, but that was his internal critic trying to get him to do perfection.
There's definitely a lot of theories going around. A lot of,
Have you read any of them?
No.
I'm calling you out on the spot.
I haven't. But you mentioned very many of them.
I have been reading the subreddits.
So I'm assuming there's a lot of them. Context clues, brother.
There was a lot of dumbass ones, too. But,
There's still a lot of them. Overall, it was a very good episode, even for someone that's as casual as I am, who doesn't remember a goddamn thing about the previous episodes. I remember characters or what they look like, not really so much their names or their backstories, but a lot of the underlying context in this episode can be picked up by anybody. Seeing this movie? Episode? We'll call it episode for the first time. It's really heavy, especially if you've been through some tough stuff in life. But it's very cathartic at the same time, if that makes sense.
I cried. I'm not gonna lie. I cried.
Yeah. I didn't cry, but a lot of the things in life just kind of paralleled, and so I'm like, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
So definitely giving this final episode, let's say an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting an 8 from you. I'd say an 8 too, though.
Okay.
Because I feel like, and I'm calling out the fandom on this, but I feel like if they weren't so toxic, we might have gotten another episode out of this, just to flesh out more details. I do see Jax's character as, like, ultimately, like, I know people are really upset that he didn't end up alive at the end of it, but at the same time, going back to mental health, there's only so much people can do for other people that won't help themselves.
Right.
That's something like my therapist was talking about too. Is like you can like Palm is a character that really like tries to go in for people, and really, it's kind of like a mouthpiece for the audience. But even she wasn't really able to get through to Jax because he ultimately didn't feel like he was worth saving. Like he even says point blank,
Yeah.
"You're not supposed to miss me. You're not supposed to love me," which is really tragic.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes that's the route people take in life. Whereas other people older, like Kinger, who lost his wife in the digital circus, was still able to persevere because he has that life experience kind of thing. But outside of that, I'm definitely going to watch it again. I'm interested to see Sergio's take on the earlier episodes.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to go back, watch all the other episodes sober, kind of try to pick up things. It's kind of ass backwards to watch the last episode and go back to the beginning. Not that it's my first time watching it, but it'll be my first time actually cognizant enough to see things, pick up things, remember things. But I'm definitely looking forward to that.
On to Flip, just kind of cut off a little bit. It is, I feel like if I was a parent, because I know you're a parent, I would try to watch the popular content that's out there in social media just to know what my kids are watching. Like, how would you feel going back on this if because you said your daughter was watching this.
She was. So my daughter sometimes goes on YouTube and she'll watch things. One time me and him were watching it out here and she comes out of the room and she sits down and starts watching it with me or with us, and then a couple days later she's on her tablet and she calls me over and I go over there and she's like, "Look what I'm watching," and she's watching Digital Circus. I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." But she must have liked the animation or something. I mean, she's only 5 years old.
I mentioned it to an ex I dated that should watch the Digital Circus just to kind of connect with their family. child. So I think that's good to do. So if you're a parent, try to watch the stuff that your kids watch just so you know it's appropriate. But this kind of gives me a lot of like, I don't kind of going a little bit off. I don't go on too much of a tangent any more than before. But I remember my parents letting me get away with watching The Simpsons because like, oh, it's a cartoon, it can't be that
bad.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's just like, that's where I got a lot of my politics from. It's just like, oh yeah, that shit sucks. So definitely watch what your kids are watching.
That's fair. I mean, I watched The Simpsons with my dad. We would watch it together, translate it into Spanish, because my dad always speaks Spanish. And then when he wasn't around...
Speaks Spanish. Speaks the Spanish.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
He speaks Spanish?
No, you said speaks a Spanish.
Oh. Okay. My dad only speaks Spanish. So when he'd be at work or asleep or anything and there'd be an episode on, I'd watch it in English. And that's where I was picking up English myself, because I didn't learn how to speak English until I was about 8 or 9. I was primarily only Spanish speaking. And just watching The Simpsons shaved me.
Watch what your kids are watching.
Shout out to The Simpsons.
Alright. So 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
There's a lot of stuff we're missing. Let us know if you want us to redo this review a little more sober.
Yeah.
We recorded a separate review before this. Just a little buzz from that. Getting a little more intoxicated from this one, because it is 7.2. What's the review on this one?
It's really smooth. It's a really smooth IPA. Definitely don't taste a lot of the guava in it. It's supposed to be a guava IPA.
I feel like it's in the texture. It's in the mouthfeel.
Or the texture.
It doesn't feel thick. The liquid doesn't feel thicker.
No.
Does it?
No.
What does it mean?
No.
Alright.
Regular beer. Like I mentioned earlier, Figueroa Mountain, Guava Point Conception IPA, 7.2 ABV, so it's pretty strong. It's brewed up in Bolton, California, up by Santa Clara, I said.
Oh. Oh, how did you feel about Zubul being like a bartender?
Who's Zubul?
The one in charge of the Triangle Bar? The one that was like a bunch of different pieces put together?
Oh! Why? Was I supposed to feel something different about that?
I'm just bringing it up because we're buzzed and, you know, our audience might be drinking.
I mean, I feel like at this point the only people that watch are a bunch of drunks.
Maybe. I think we're pretty entertaining sometimes. Occasionally. Once in a blue moon. Which tonight is not a blue moon.
This is not a blue moon.
I meant the night, the moon in the sky.
Ah.
Which also was king.
The beer itself, though, it's pretty good. I'll drink it again. Not a lot of guava taste.
Could be masked by the popcorn.
You think so? No, I don't think so either. Do you taste any guava? I personally love guavas, the fruit. So seeing this and thinking like, oh, this could be like really good, and not being able to taste it is kind of disappointing. But other than that, like as far as like the flavor of the IPA goes, I think it's pretty good. Because of the disappointment, I'm gonna give it a 6.
I feel like we need to come back to this one to give it a second chance.
You think so?
Probably.
Okay.
Second chance like Kane got a second chance.
That's fair. But
Not like Jax, because Jax got a second and third and fourth and fifth, and he still fucked them up.
you can't get through to everybody. But what is your rating for now?
I don't don't know. Hold on.
Are you saying we should come back to it as a cop out? I gave it a 6. We'll come back to it.
I'm giving it a 6 for now too.
Okay.
Because I'm unsure.
Unsure. Why?
Because still a little buzz from the earlier drinks.
Okay.
Although it might just be this.
Are your taste buds gone?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say?
No. I think that's it.
This review went on longer than he expected.
It definitely did go a lot longer.
I have a lot to think. I have a lot of thoughts about the show. I got cut off a little bit.
I mean, this episode had a lot of things that were heavy, a lot of things that need to be talked about that won't fit in such a short format, which is why this went for longer than it.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this out. I know it's an early channel, but if you get us up to 100 fucking likes, 100 likes, we'll go back and review every episode mildly sober and then come back and redo this one.
Mildly sober.
Mildly sober. Because we are Scenes and Steins.
We are. And we'll see you for the next episode.
Check in on your friends, you fucking assholes. And stop harassing Gooseworks, alright? Don't be that fucking toxic fandom.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. And definitely, like you said, checking on your friends and seeking help is not weakness. If it's the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, that just shows strength.
Also, stop being an edge lord.
A what?
Edge lord.